Is Hawaii on your vacation to-do list? Stay with us as we look at vacation options from cruises to condos. Stay tuned. My guest today is Ole Nordhavn, founder of Concierge Travel Services located just outside of San Francisco. Ole has been meeting the needs of his clients in and around California and across the nation for the last 20 plus years. Hi, Ole. Welcome back to RTE Travel Talk.
Hello, and thank you for having me once again, Ken. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you back with us, Ole. So, Ole, one of the dream vacations that people talk about here on this channel is Hawaii. And for many, there's so many different ways to experience it. So today I kind of like to have a look at some of the different vacation options available, and hopefully you can give us a bit of an overview. How does that sound?
Absolutely fabulous. Hawaii offers a variety of vacation options to suit different preferences and budgets. You can choose from cruises, land-based tours, hotel stays, private homes, and those are for larger parties, as well as condos. And each option has its unique advantages and considerations.
Oh, perfect. Now that's a great range of choices. Let's kind of break them down a bit. What can you tell us about cruises to and around Hawaii?
Well, cruises are a fantastic way to explore multiple islands without the hassle of inter-island travel. You get to experience the beauty of the ocean and convenience of a floating hotel. Cruises, in my opinion, usually represent your best value for your vacation dollar, plus you only unpack and pack once. There are so many options, like flying to Hawaii and doing a 7-day cruise around the islands from and returning to Honolulu. That includes an overnight stay in Maui and Kauai, or a 15 to 70-day round-trip cruise from any of 4 West Coast ports, and all the way to repositioning cruises from or to Hawaii in the spring or fall, and once again from a number of West Coast ports, and usually about 10 days. The base fare includes all of your meals, entertainment, and so much more. However, it is important to remember that additional fees for excursions and specialty dining can add up while on board.
Absolutely. So it is good. It is a good option for people that want to see most of the islands. To get to Hawaii, you're probably sailing out of Los Angeles and Vancouver. How does that work?
Yeah, so the round trips out of the West Coast, there are Vancouver round trip sailings now, San Francisco for sure, Los Angeles, as well as San Diego.
Oh, okay.
On a multitude of different cruise lines, primarily Princess, because they have a very big West Coast presence.
Okay.
Whereas if you fly to Hawaii, you just do the 7-day. So it's actually less expensive to do a 15-day round trip from the West Coast than to fly to Hawaii and do a 7-day around the islands. But then time becomes a factor for people.
Oh,
So
really?
you take more than 7 days off.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. So what about land-based tours and hotel stays, Ole?
Well, land-based tours are excellent for those who want guided experiences and a structured itinerary. There are many escorted tour options from specialty tour operators like Colette or Globus and many others.
Okay.
They usually include transportation, accommodations, entrances to attractions, and most, if not all, meals. So it's definitely very guided, structured. From the guided tours, it could also be as simple as and straightforward as hotels, which offer convenience and luxury, but you'll likely need to eat out every meal, which can be costly as you'll only be getting the accommodations. And doing it that way, you certainly have to arrange all of your own transportation and attractions, so to speak.
So basically, Ole, when we think about a land-based tour, technically it's probably a little bit more complicated to plan and execute. Then would I be correct in that?
If you're doing it on your own, correct. Not if you're using a supplier that has the package already, but if you're doing it on your own, you really do have to plan. You have to think every step of the way, every single day out in advance, especially if you're going to be changing hotel locations.
But of course, you can also enlist the services of an expert travel advisor too.
Absolutely.
The other thing that we see a lot in this day and age, and you hear it all the time, Vrbo, Airbnb, and that's basically private home rentals. Now, I gather they have benefits. What's your thoughts on that when it comes to Hawaii, Ole?
Well, private home rentals are perfect for larger parties. I would say something that can accommodate, say, up to 10 people or so. And they have anywhere from 2 to 4 bedrooms or even more on some of the largest. It can be expensive though.
Yeah.
But this offers space and privacy. It's really a choice. So you're there for the duration, and it's more about hanging out with everybody. Certainly you go do certain things on whatever island you're doing this. Again, that takes some planning as far as any attractions you might want to see, but that's pretty simple. But you're basically stationed in one base.
Yeah,
And it can be
but
expensive, like I said. They're getting good money, not only for condos, but they're for the home rentals. They're up there.
where we live, that we're an inbound destination as well. And if it's anything, like here, like it is in Hawaii, they're getting serious money for cottages that rival hotels, and in a lot of cases actually exceed the price of a per night in a hotel. The other thing that comes to mind when we think about these Airbnbs and private home rentals, tell me what you think about it, is I wonder sometimes if one has to be careful about the really nice pictures that you see online. Kind of like if you're buying real estate, you never really know what the place looks like till you actually go and walk through it. Pictures can be deceiving.
That's true, and there certainly is an awful lot of talk online and everywhere about verbos and home rentals and what have you.
Yeah.
It's probably the least likely to be as advertised.
Right.
It's just there's so many things that affect those home rentals.
Yeah.
So it's something you have to be careful about,
Yeah.
I think.
But what about condos? Now, condos is kind of like a different kettle of fish, right?
It is. Condos, in my experience, are the most versatile and cost-effective option. You can book anything from a studio to a three-bedroom unit, making it ideal for individuals or families or even a small group of friends to stay together in the same unit or multiple units in the same complex. The reason they're a fantastic choice is that, like I said, the flexibility is key, as with home rentals. Condos come with full kitchens where you have the option to prepare your own meals, which can significantly reduce food expenses. Even though grocery prices in Hawaii are higher, it's still cheaper than dining out all the time. Plus, you can mix dining out with cooking at the condo, which is great for longer stays. I personally do a combination of eating at the condo or eating out. Usually a few breakfasts at our favorite new spot, the rest at the condo.
Yeah.
Some midday snacks or lunch out, then about half the time eating at a local restaurant for dinner, and other times preparing our own dinner at the condo. The benefit to a condo is that they are not freestanding units, usually,
Right.
like homes, but either in a complex or very large building. It is resort living at its best, with a large pool, hot tubs, and other amenities on site and or activities. Perhaps even some have restaurants.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have restaurants, some of them. It's true resort living versus, say, a freestanding home, which some certainly come with pools, but there aren't as many options or amenities.
You've had personal experience with condo life in Hawaii yourself, right?
Well, I have timeshare, so we stay at the same complex every third year or so when we go on the Big Island.
Okay.
But I've stayed at condos in Honolulu and Maui, several locations
Yeah.
on Maui and Honolulu. And I personally prefer condos because of the flexibility.
It's kind of like resort living without all the hassle. Now, speaking of food, let's talk about the culinary delights of Hawaii. What can visitors expect?
Hawaii certainly has a rich scene with a mix of traditional Hawaiian dishes and influence from Asia and the mainland. While dining out can be expensive, there are ways to manage costs. For instance, I recommend eating out every other day and trying a mix of favorites from past and new places, as well as eating at where the locals eat. It's certainly a diverse experience as far as a type of food that is prevalent in Hawaii, and the costs at these places that locals eat are less than the tourist attraction places, so to speak.
For sure.
And there are big name restaurants there as well, Roy's and Merriman's and all kinds. And then there's some locals that have become very famous, like the Mama's Fish House on Maui.
Yeah.
So there can be very expensive places to eat. I mean, I went to Roy's. We were just there in 2 weeks in May, and for my wife and I, with appetizer, one drink, dinner, and no dessert, it was with tax and tip was about $225.
Yeah.
So it can really add up.
It can.
Although shopping at Safeway, a bag of tortilla chips was $7.49. So it's
all
again.
It's all relative when you get right down to it.
It is.
Yeah.
Again, that does take some planning and a little extra cash for the unexpected.
I like your thoughts on the local eateries. Do you have several local favorites that you frequent when you're in Hawaii?
Absolutely. But to recommend my favorites on the various islands would be too time consuming. So suffice to say that there are several local spots that offer great value and authentic flavors, as I have previously mentioned. And some of my favorites include the local food trucks and also farmers markets and smaller restaurants that cater to the locals. Again, I touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
They are truly worth seeking out and trying. I could name a few, but
Well, let me
It
put it.
doesn't mean an awful lot unless you're specifically going where I've gone.
Yeah, let me put it to you another way. Then I'm going to come to you and say, "Ole, I want to go to Hawaii, and this is the particular area in Hawaii that I want to be. Can you package something together with me with a series of tips? Okay, well, you're here. You're going to go. While you're there, you need to check out this restaurant and check out this farmer's market because that's the kind of experience that an expert travel advisor can bring to the table."
I mean, I do that now. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, I sell mostly cruises, some escorted tours, but big here on the West Coast is packages to Hawaii, which consists of the airfare,
Yeah.
a car rental, and condo rental. And when we do that, as we move forward to their travel dates, I continue to provide them with tips and suggestions and let them know what I've done and what I considered worth doing. I also send them travel books that experts have put together that have all the options so they can make up their own mind or
Yeah.
actually see what's out there. But a lot of what I provide my clients is personal experience, and the value of that is invaluable, so to speak.
Fantastic. I've never been to Hawaii. The wife and I are going to have to plan a trip. It sounds like there's a lot to explore and enjoy. Any final tips for our viewers planning a trip to Hawaii, Ole?
Hawaii has gorgeous scenery, a rich history, and a unique culture. And learn as much as you can before you travel to Hawaii. The key to a smooth, extremely satisfying vacation is to plan ahead and consider what's most important for your trip. Is it food? Is it sightseeing? Whatever it is, then concentrate on what's important to you. If you value flexibility and cost savings, a condo might be the best option. Don't forget to budget for additional fees, whether it's for activities, dining, or transportation. And most importantly, embrace the local culture and cuisine. Respect that because Hawaii has so much to offer. The Hawaiian people are absolutely embracing.
Fantastic. Well, Ole, this is absolutely wonderful. If folks wanted to reach out to you about a possible Hawaii vacation or cruise to Hawaii, how would they do that?
Well, they could give me a call at area code 510-499-3152. I'm always happy to talk to people and share my passion for travel, especially Hawaii. Or they can email me at Ole, O-L-E, at cruiseandtravelexperts.com. So cruiseandtravelexperts.com. Couldn't get any longer, could it?
Well, that's perfect. I'll leave those links in the description for those that may want to reach out, Ollie. But as always, one of the favorite parts of my job interviewing travel experts is I get to live vicariously through the travels of my guests. So I have to know, where are you and Mary off to next?
We're planning just a short 5-day trip to the mid-state California coast to go visit a art gallery from an artist I take lessons from right now. So we just want to get away. We'll probably hit down to Solvang, basically a land trip, which is unusual for us because we usually cruise. I think our next cruise is a yet to be announced mystery cruise to go get a good hamburger, and that's all I'll leave it at.
Well, that sounds interesting. You reminded me you are the painting travel advisor. So I'm going to leave a link to in the description to where people can have a look at some of your past artwork and as well as get hold of you. And as far as that mystery cruise is concerned and the great hamburger, I always love a great hamburger. So we'll have to have you back to regale us with your adventures in search of the infamous perfect hamburger. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. I've got a lot of interest in that already. So
fantastic.
I'll let you know when the time is due what's going to happen.
Fantastic. And with that, Ole, I'm just going to wish you and Mary safe and happy travels on all of your future cruises and adventures. May the wind always be at your back, and I hope to see the two of you on a Lido deck sometime soon in the future.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
Take care. And that about wraps it up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Ole Nordhavn of Concierge Travel Services. If you'd like to reach out to Ole, I will leave his contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach us with a suggestion for a future video or a question, you can send a question to questions@realtravelexperts.com, visit our website, realtravelexperts.com, or simply leave a comment. We always respond. And as always, folks, if you enjoyed this content, a like, subscribe, share, and a ring of the bell is certainly appreciated and helps us to spread the word. So until next time, happy travels.